Good day, everybody. My name is Oliver Smith, and I'm one of the Innovation and VDC Directors for Skanska USA Building for the Southeast region based here in Atlanta, Georgia. As you can see around my office, we have some pretty cool technologies that we're applying onto our job sites, whether they be laser scanners, drones, VR headsets, or today's topic, 360-degree cameras. This is the first part of a four-part series in looking at the GoPro Fusion 360 camera. 360 cameras are helping our job sites in numerous ways, making positive impacts, whether it's safety and security, to coordination, quality control, you name it. 360 cameras are here to stay, and they are a very, very useful tool. This first part video will take a look at the initial setup as well as some of the hardware components that come with the GoPro Fusion. So without further ado, here it is, GoPro Fusion 360 camera. It's pretty rugged. It's got a rubberized outsole or outer case, and in my opinion is built for construction job sites. It can take a licking and keep on ticking, as Timex says. With your camera, you get a lithium-ion battery. I would recommend on getting an SD card reader. This particular camera takes 2 mini SD cards. This is what they look like. I would recommend on getting the largest capacity for each card if you can. And just to give you guys a heads up too, there is a PDF that accompanies this video that will go through the step-by-step process. This video should really just be used for supplemental reference. So these are the 2 mini SD cards. It also comes with an adhesive base mount, and you'll see why we use this in particular on our job sites. And that's pretty much it. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is essentially take the SD cards, and hopefully you can kind of see into the chamber there. But what I'll do is place my SD cards, or my mini SD cards, in their corresponding slots. They go side by side. And I'll go ahead and put the battery in here. And there's a mode button here. You just press that, and the camera will turn on. Prior to this video, or hopefully prior to you using the camera, you want to download the desktop application, and this will be used later in the series for post-processing your videos and photos. It's called the GoPro Fusion Studio desktop application. You can just go on to the web and search it, and it's a free download. The other application I would recommend downloading is for your phone. It's called GoPro. You can find it in the App Store. It's also free. This is a very useful application because instead of having to go back and forth between your settings and on your camera, you could do everything right from your phone at your fingertips. And you'll see why that's important. The last two things in terms of hardware components that you may not see on the desk here is currently being utilized with the GoPro Hero that we're recording. You have a screw pin, which essentially allows us to thread our camera onto the adhesive base, or any other base for that matter, and the GoPro wand, which is currently being used as a tripod. The adhesive base is actually very useful. You can see one of the new cast hard hats here. I've mounted it, and in the documentation you'll see some of the best practices of putting this in the middle, forward a little bit to help with the center of gravity. Camera can be a little bit different in terms of when it's mounted on your hard hat. Obviously it adds a few more inches as well, so just need to be careful as you're walking around on site for any horizontal members on scaffolding, for example, or if you're working above ceiling. But nonetheless, it's a very useful tool. I usually mount this on my hard hat just because it keeps my hands free. I'm able to use 3 points of contact for stairs or anything like that, but also just able to do what I need to do on a job site. So as the camera's turned on, I'm going to hopefully try and showcase this to you correctly from the iPhone. But you're going to click on the GoPro app, which you can kind of see there on my phone. And the first thing that we need to do is essentially link the Fusion with the app. So on this, I'm going to click on Add Camera. It's going to search for the GoPro, and it's going to say no camera found, and that's kind of common. So what we'll do through our list here, as you see as it populates, is you're going to select the GoPro Fusion from the list and select My Camera is On, because it should be on. The series of screens here, again, it's going to go through this documentation on a step-by-step basis. What I'm going to do is use the mode button on the side, and I'm going to cycle until you see the wrench-looking icon, which is essentially my settings, and then I'll hit this red button to access it. Now at the top here you'll see the video. If I click mode again, You can see I could cycle through those settings, which we'll touch a little bit later on another video set. But if I select the red button here, I can cycle from video to photo to time-lapse and then to a Wi-Fi looking icon. You'll see that the second option there is connect, and I'll want to scroll down using my mode and then hit the red button to connect. And you'll see that GoPro app is there. I'll select it again with the red button, and essentially it's giving me a password and Wi-Fi. And on my app, I'm just going to go ahead and click continue. It tells me it's found the GoPro. Click connect camera, and it may take a few seconds. And there you go, you see it's connected. Here you can change your camera name. Mine's set as Oliver Smith's Fusion. For right now, I'm just going to leave it as the generic GoPro or GP245, and you'll see that number down there below. I'll just set that to that. And then once you select Let's Go, you're going to get this little Wi-Fi dialog. GoPro wants to join Wi-Fi network GP245. All it's asking you is your phone to join this Wi-Fi network on the camera. Click Join. It's connecting. Again, this could take a few seconds, maybe a little bit longer, depending on your connectivity. And there you go. Kind of scary, but nonetheless, your phone is now connected to your camera. And as I move my camera, or even my phone, I have a 360-degree view of what my camera is looking at. So that is the first session of the class, or the video training session today. We're going to look a little bit further in depth of how we use this operationally to take photos and videos, how we can go above ceiling, and all these other different applications on the camera. The third part series will take a look at post-processing, and then the fourth, looking at delivery of the content. So with that, I want to thank you guys for taking time out to watch this short little video on the initial setup and hardware components of the 360 camera. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at oliver.smith@skanska.com. Thank you guys, and have a great day.